Nice. That woman staring right back at you while you're applying your makeup, that woman. That brother who's staring you down as you're shaving before you go to bed, that is your enemy. Your inner me, that inner critic that keeps on causing for me to major in doubt, but minor in faith. That enemy, that enemy that keeps causing for me to major in all of my failures, all of my screw-ups, all of my shortcomings, but I keep on minoring in all my milestones. That enemy, that inner me. You know why a lot of us don't have swift obedience? It's because we've allowed that enemy, we've allowed that inner critic to be our therapist. We've allowed that inner critic to be our therapist, so before we can obey God, we have to first book a session. What does my anxiety say about this first? What does my fear say about this first? I have to see what my worry says about this first. I have to see what my doubt says about this first. God, I know you told me to do this, but I have to first book a session. Have you allowed your inner critic to be your counselor instead of the Holy Spirit to be your wonderful counselor? And this is what I've discovered. And you're trying so hard to change. You're using willpower. But what I've discovered, many times a temporary fix will actually add more problems to the original problem because you're trying to change it on your own. Somebody say enemy. That enemy, that is that inner me, that mental bully. That mental bully that keeps beating us into submission. And it keeps me subscribed to everybody else's criticism. That enemy, that inner critic, the person that keeps me from walking into what God has called me to walk into. We can't start a series talking about World War Me until we deal with our mindset, until we deal with our thought patterns, until we address the way I think and the way I handle content, intel, and information. I gotta address the way I think. That inner critic that keeps me entertaining stagnant people.